Good morning, beautiful people, and Kamala Harris. Welcome to J-Tech Studios, baby. Today we've got a video of Nick Shirley. If you haven't checked him out, you could probably find him on YouTube and on X. He is what I believe a independent journalist. He goes around to the streets and he asks people questions. Today he was in Ukraine, asking people in Ukraine who they would vote for in the U.S. elections. Now, obviously, the people of Ukraine won't be able to vote in the U.S. elections, but with the United States sending over $175 billion to help defend Ukraine from Russia, it's important to understand what they think about the U.S. politics, as the election will greatly affect the future of their country. Former President Donald Trump claims the war would have never started if he was president, and now Trump says he can stop the war if reelected. This election will decide not just America's future, but Ukraine's future as well, and probably the future of the entire planet. So he says, what do you notice about their responses, ? And so without further ado, we bring to you his video. Let's react.
If you lived in America and you could vote between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Trump is a great guy, but if we on the Russian side, it would be a problem. So I will think twice about it.
I feel like more confident in that the support will stay if Kamala Harris becomes a president.
I do think that the two-party state in the
Count them
United
up.
States
How many on each side if
isn't
you
the
can?
best solution, to be honest.
When the United States sends over money,
Count
they
them
send over
up.
aid.
How many for each side if you can? How many say Trump? How many say Kamala?
Okay, so we have one for Kamala now, right?
I think, man, I can't remember. Let's start now, though.
I feel like we only
Well,
did
there is one for Kamala, yes. I did hear Kamala. I don't know if I heard any other Kamalas or Trumps, but I'm kind of curious as to how many on each.
To Ukraine. What does that money go to? Today I'm here in Ukraine. I am in the city of Kyiv, and today we're going to be asking Ukrainians who they would vote for if they could vote in the U.S. election. I obviously know that they are not going to be able to vote. However, it will be interesting to hear the perspective, because here in Ukraine they are obviously fighting a war with Russia, and the United States has not sent over millions of dollars. They have sent over literally billions. It is estimated $170 billion that the United States has given to Ukraine in financial aid and other supplies to keep fighting in the war against Russia. And it's going to be extremely interesting
$175 billion. You know how many people we could get off the street here, even come out counting them illegals?
It's a lot of money, dude. $175 billion. A lot of it can't even be accounted for, meaning we don't know what it was spent on. Potentially kickbacks back to the United States and to people's pockets.
Whole world globally, and it's going to be interesting to talk to these people. And if you respect the Sen for coming all the way here to Ukraine,
Didn't they recently lose somewhat billions of dollars recently that did actually go unaccounted for? Like, we don't know. We don't exactly know what happened to that, bill there and that billion there.
I don't know. I don't keep books for the government.
Maybe you should. How many?
They might be able to find some more money if I kept books.
They got how many more thousand IRS agents here to police us, the citizens of this country? Maybe y'all can send a few to Ukraine to police what's going on with the billions we're sending over there.
Literally in a war zone for this video. So give this video
props
a like,
to this
subscribe,
dude.
And
he is in a war zone
all the way up until the election. It's gonna be crazy here in Ukraine. So onward, and we're gonna talk to the people here in Ukraine about who they would vote for if they could vote in the U.S. election. Between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Kamala Harris.
And why so?
Because Donald Trump is a racist.
He's a racist.
Man, where's your proof? You have to come with proof.
Do you think Donald Trump is a racist?
There are many reasons. One, he's a racist.
Okay.
Two, I don't think that we will get so much help from USA.
How has your guys' life been here as Joe Biden has been?
She said, okay, why is he a racist? Number one, because he's a racist. Oh, point proven. He must be a racist. Why? Because he's a racist. But had no other follow-ups. What's your number two?
Dude, you don't know how stupid that answer made you look.
You know, they probably only have state-run media there, though. Somewhat like our country almost, too, nowadays with the mainstream media. I'm talking to you, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all the rest. Let's go.
Well, you heard what Gavin Newsom did.
I think that we need to share our problem for all of the world. And honestly, I don't think that Trump worry about our problem in Ukraine here.
Why do they want to share their problem with all the world? I'm not trying. Okay, to start this video, guys, I got to say one thing. I'm not here to hate on Ukraine, man. I love Ukraine like I love every other person, every other citizen of the world. I consider myself a free thinker. I consider myself an earth people, an earth person. I love people of all nationalities, races, colors, shapes, sizes, religions, whatevers, creeds, any of that. But when you start spitting out stupid ish like this girl's doing, you really kind of start to irritate me a little bit. And why does your problem in Ukraine has to be shared with the rest of the world? In fact, don't people of Europe and other countries hate the United States because we do nothing but stick our noses out into other people's business where it doesn't belong? Isn't that why the world now hates our country? So maybe your problem needs to stay your problem. Our problems can stay our problem. The $175 billion with a B that got sent to Ukraine needs to come back home to us to help our vets.
Let me ask you this.
Much love to our vets, by the way, our veterans.
Let me ask this question right here. Do you think Ukraine would send their money if we're in this same type of situation with Canada?
No, dude. No, nobody would send us money.
Do you think they would send us money?
No, they would not send us money.
So I say you.
Exactly.
He's
Let's
a
go.
criminalist also.
Would you say the Ukrainian people are fearful if Donald Trump wins the election?
Fear? I don't think fear.
Or scared?
Not scared. I think that will be the point when we just will be very disappointed.
What do you think will happen with the war if Donald Trump is elected as president?
For America, I think life will be the better.
Yeah.
But for us, I don't think so.
If you live
so we should suffer so you can.
Well, first of all, why would our life be better if Trump was president? You called him a racist. So why would you want to project a racist leader to have authority over our nation? But for you, it wouldn't be. I don't get it. Like, he wants to resolve your problems, and he says he can do that very quickly. He can end the war. Is that not what you want done? But life for Americans will be better to have a racist leader, she says. And by the way, this is like 16 minutes long.
To me, that just sounded very selfish.
Yeah.
It's like I've been saying. Take care of our own. Yep. And screw everybody else. Stay the hell out of people's business.
Yeah.
And let's fix what's going on here.
We got a clean house, man. You're 100% right.
Who do you vote for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump.
Really? It's the first one I've heard say that today. Why so?
Basically, I just like the way he's speaking. He's entertaining. I like his way, like how he's doing business. He's a great person.
What do people here in Ukraine think about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
Joe Biden. He's an old-style person, and really, he's not like the future for U.S.
And when Donald Trump was president in 2016 to 2020, was there more peace here in Ukraine?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course there was.
There was no war.
Innovation until 2022.
Yeah.
100%.
Who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
I will vote for Kamala.
There's another one for Kamala Market.
What do think about Donald Trump?
They don't trust him. They're afraid that he will support Russia and the war will stop for Russia's way.
And do you guys think if Kamala Harris, it'd be better for the Ukraine-Russia war?
Yes, it will be better. They will support Ukraine and will help us to win.
Who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
Я за республиканцев, а Харрис демократ. Мне ближе политика республиканцев, чем демократов.
So you would vote for Donald Trump?
Ну, скорее всего, да.
We do have an election coming up between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. If you lived in the United States, who would you vote for?
That's a kind of tricky question.
Throw me down
I do think
the
that
words. Never mind.
Two-party state in the United States isn't the best solution, to be honest. Me personally, I wouldn't vote for either of them because, well, Donald Trump understands nothing about the economy. He is some sort of leftist-leaning economic issue.
Trump is a leftist-leaning economic issue. First of all, Trump is on the right, bro. He's not a leftist. He may have
He's
his
a
parties,
capitalist.
He may have his parties mixed up, but maybe he's going somewhere else with it.
Regarding the preferential treatment to American workers and American industry, well, it damages the world economy, and well, that's not good in the times of the economic crisis post-COVID.
I felt like that dude was going to be smart. I felt like looking at him, he was smart, and he came out to be.
I feel like if the American economy is booming, it helps the rest of the world be booming.
Don't just feel like it. That is facts, dude.
I mean,
if we're doing
good, I feel like everybody else is doing good.
Yeah.
And as for Kamala Harris, they ponder too much to the more radical elements of the left wing. Basically, I would describe my position as anti-radical, as moderate, and neither of the candidates is moderate, so I would vote for neither of them.
Remember these two individuals because we will be coming back to them later in this video to speak about the harsh realities of the war. Now, coming to Ukraine was extremely surreal and humbling to see the real effects of war firsthand, to see homes that were bombed by Russians and meeting young men my age walking around without legs due to battling on the front lines was a bit unsettling. And this video you are watching is only one of 3 videos I filmed while I was in Ukraine. In the coming days, I will release a separate video explaining and showing everything about Ukraine in the coming days. Who would you vote for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
And why would you vote for Kamala Harris?
Because she isn't a Trump.
And does Donald Trump scare you?
She isn't a Trump.
Yes.
Why do you fear Donald Trump?
Because he doesn't want to support Ukraine.
And for Ukraine, who do you think would be better to be president?
For us, I think it does not matter. For us, it depends what is changing with our crazy neighbors.
I know you guys receive a lot of support from the United States.
A lot. And we are much appreciated to you because all world is helping us too much. Because even if it was either our own fight, we will never stay so long time.
When the United States sends over money and they send over aid to Ukraine, what does that money go to?
Really, I don't know too much about how this money was sending, or depend which departments or which like army, but this is like huge amount of bureaucracy, policy. But I can tell you some of them is not going where it should be.
And when you say that it's not going where it should be, where do you think it's going?
I think you know it's also very well because it's a lot corruption here.
Yes.
Historically, Ukraine
you're going to get killed saying that on film.
A little bit corrupt. Do you think politicians are taking the money that the United States or other countries are giving to Ukraine and putting it in their pocket?
I think like small parts, like yes.
It's like a few million here and there, you know.
I have no ideas, but it's like percentage.
A billion here and there.
Yeah, like maybe 1% of a billion.
I think it's more than 1%.
Yes.
My question is, if you guys lived in the United States, who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
A tricky question. Frankly, I love Biden more. I can say 100% that I am pro-Biden.
Okay, and what about you, sir?
Vote Kamala Harris because it's not important for me Kamala Harris. It's
so would that be two?
Vote opposite Trump.
Do you think it matters who wins the U.S. election for the people of Ukraine? Will it affect the lives of people here in Ukraine depending on who wins the election?
Nobody knows. You know, because future will show us what's happening. Right now, of course, Ukrainians are more pro-democratic than pro-Republicans because Biden helped a lot. And Trump told everywhere that we gave a lot to Ukraine, so we stopped to help, etc. But Trump very specific. He's not predictable. He does everything he wants. Maybe he will really make some special something to Putin, and Putin will stop. We never know.
So Trump could actually be better for you guys if he does get elected, even though he might not give you guys aid.
Nobody knows.
But he could make a deal with Putin.
Like technically, yes, of course, because he cares about his reputation. He's very ambitious, and maybe that's why he will try to stop this war.
Who would you vote?
Fact is no aid is needed if Trump can successfully put a stop to this war.
So scratch Biden and one for Trump.
I'm gonna say scratch Biden and put one for Trump. Absolutely. But that is the facts. Like, you know, under Trump's presidency, there was no war with the Hamas and Israel's. There was no war with the Russians and Ukrainians. Also, by the way, I hate to break it out there, but during Obama, Russia did push into other territory as well.
Yeah, Syria.
So Yeah, so Trump was the only exclusion there during Trump's power, during his presidency. Countries were not invading other countries. Now they are, and they were before as well.
I feel like this guy's going to be smart.
He looks smart. Let's see what he's got to say.
He's got that Mark Zuckerberg look.
Yeah,
smart.
He's got that. Well, if he's Mark Zuckerberg smart, then he might be saying Kamala Harris. Let's see.
Vote for it. If you could vote in the U.S. election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
I don't know, maybe Trump.
Yeah!
But the people say he would support more Russians than Ukrainians, so is that the question?
People say that, but he does not say that. You can't go off of what people say. You have to go off of what he says. He says he wants the death to end on both sides. And then they say again, well, so what does that mean? You favor Russia, you favor whatever. He says, I want the death to end for everyone.
Trump is a great guy, but if he would, on the Russian side, it would be a problem. So I will think twice about it.
Do you think Donald Trump poses more of a threat than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris?
Maybe. I heard that Trump some time ago said on the public he can just finish the war in order of a few weeks, as I remember.
Do you think Donald Trump could finish the war?
I don't know. Peacefully, maybe, yeah. But I don't think that he can give us some kind of weapon that we can finish that war. I would say he would try to speak with both sides.
Yes.
At the same time, if he would speak with it, so we maybe lost some lands of our country.
I agree with this kid 100%. It's not going to be won with weapons, guys. This war is not going to be settled by weapons. If NATO launches missiles and gets involved at Russia, then you will have World War III. Mark my words. Now, I don't think that's how Trump's going to resolve it. He'll put sanctions on Russia. There will be Russia's money will be impacted severely. Maybe Russia will end up with a part of Ukraine, but most of all, people will stop dying. It'll be ended peacefully. It'll be ended swiftly, and I think it will be done through things such as sanctions and levies against money and whatnot.
Well, let's just hope the election gets on and over with before the World War III breaks out.
Well, that's what we're racing for right now. Months left to go till November.
Got 2 months, man. Yep. 2 months.
So that's not actually good.
If you lived in America, who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris or Joe Biden?
Kamala Harris.
And
Mark it.
why would you vote for Kamala Harris?
Well, first of all, because we look at it from the perspective of who would actually support Ukraine. Biden was the one, and personally for me, whoever would actually support Ukraine and stay as democratic as is possible, then this is the one that I would vote.
They keep saying Harris is the one who supports Ukraine. Does everybody really not think that Trump does not support the Ukrainian people?
Well, I don't know how they keep saying Harris is supporting them, because really it was Biden supporting them, because Harris ain't got nothing to do with anything right now, right? She hadn't done anything.
Well, she hadn't done anything, and right now,
because she takes no credit for anything that has happened in the last 3 years and 8 months.
They're saying turn the page on the last 4 years. Turn the page. They say Tampon Tim Walt's wife, turn the page. Turn the page. She repeated it like 6 times. Turn the page. On what? The last 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration? When you keep saying turn the page, you're not saying turn the page on Trump. I know that's what you think you're saying. You think that the Harris campaign is running against Trump, and Trump's the incumbent president who's in office still. He's not. Biden's in office. Harris is his VP.
She has co-signed every one of these fucking deals.
And he's laying on a beach with his shirt off, just chillaxing, not even tending to our country's needs.
Does Donald Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin scare you guys?
Yeah, it's obvious, because America is our biggest, most powerful supporter, I would say. I don't think EU can do without America's support and without their approval.
Yeah, like just walking around the streets here, do you feel worried that a missile could be dropped, or an explosion could happen at any moment?
It could, because we still find mines around parks. You don't know where you can go. And a lot of people are also like psychologically affected by it. I mean, I guess it's still safe, but it's...
Second. How are they finding mines in a park where they're at? I mean, is Vladimir Putin sneaking across the border, going deep up into their damn parks and digging little holes and putting mines in their parks?
I have no clue. Maybe closer to the border. I don't know, man. That didn't make much sense to me either. But she's definitely saying that there's mines in parks and stuff. Yeah, I got a microphone. Got a microphone problem here, guys.
Malfunction.
Whoa! No! It all came out.
Oh, man,
it's all
fade
true.
it
It's been
fade to
proven
black.
true. Our set's fake. What the fudge sickles, John? John, by the way, John got me this microphone stand. John.
Actually, I got that for myself and gave it to you,
bro. Well, thank you.
But I didn't tear it up.
Let's just act like that didn't happen, everybody. You didn't see nothing to see here, folks. Let's keep watching the video.
Way less
I feel
safe
like we
to
can
walk
zap a
around
couple
Kyiv,
screws into it
than it was before.
Who would you guys vote for if you lived in the United States?
We are more into Democrats because right now the current
Market.
support is from Democrats more. Right now, I think we are mostly with Kamala Harris team.
And what about you?
Yeah, vote Kamala.
That's
Do you think
two for
Zelensky's
Kamala.
doing a good job with the current war?
Mark it twice.
It's really hard to imagine someone else on this role right now, and I think eating an ice cream in the center of Kyiv, it's a representative of a good job, in my opinion.
I think Kamala, because Trump, he
Trump.
don't support
Y'all tell Biden.
No,
tell
she said
Biden that
Kamala.
y'all got all that ice cream there in Kyiv, just eating it all day, every day. He'll come and chillax with you guys and eat up all your ice cream.
So
Ukraine
she's
as
voting
much,
for
but
Harris.
Why? What'd she say?
She said,
I
I think
missed
I'm
it.
going to vote for Harris because
think
Trump
Kamala-
don't support us much.
I think Kamala, because Trump, he didn't support Ukraine as much. Why you say that? He was not in office when the war broke out. I didn't hear every other person out there that exists in the world that was a somebody, just continuously speak out to y'all's behalf. He's not in office.
I think Kamala, because Trump, he don't support Ukraine as much, what I remember from news. And I heard that people say it was the worst president for United States. I
Really?
prefer Democrats, and I like Biden. And this Kamala, she after Biden, so I prefer.
Gotta say the name right.
Why do you guys
though.
like Biden so much?
Because he helped Ukraine. My opinion, a little bit about
I bet y'all love that 175 billion with the B dollars.
Trump. He say if he was the president, war will never start. Maybe he's right in that. So I don't know.
I definitely wouldn't support Trump. I don't know
Market.
much about Kamala Harris's politics, but I would rather prefer her over Trump.
And do you think the people of Ukraine fear Donald Trump with what he has said about Ukraine?
People say that he might support Ukraine more, but some say that he will cut all support. So I don't really know what will happen if he becomes a president.
He
but
will
I
end the
feel
war,
like
my friend.
more confident in that the support will stay if Kamala
And
Harris
that's the
becomes
greatest
president.
support one can
What do you
have.
think about Vladimir Putin in Russia?
It's really tough for me to say something without cursing because of him. My life and life of many Ukrainians have become much worse, and a lot of people lost their lives and their loved ones. So I really despise him.
We understand many Americans have lost their lives under the Biden-Harris administration because of our open border policy, the immigrants illegally coming over and raping and killing our women and our children. So we completely get what you're saying, buddy. I wonder, do you have closed borders in Ukraine? I wonder if their borders are closed.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah?
I'm more than positive.
Huh.
You could vote in the U.S. election. Who would you vote for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Почему Харрис? Ну, она моложе, Трамп агрессивный, да.
And what makes Donald Trump so aggressive?
Ну, по отношению к Украине.
Ну, его какие-то высказывания более резкие, он настроен категорично более. То есть, хотя мы ее историю, ее лично не изучали, но то, что показывают по прессе, по телевидению, так, Харрис мне больше нравится.
And how do you think the war between Ukraine and Russia ends?
Yeah.
Думаю, что договор все-таки будет. Потому что победа будет много лет еще тянуться все это. Но опять же, от выборов в Америке будет много зависеть. Что без Америки мы ничего не сделаем.
Да, мы на вас надеемся.
Без Америки и Европы Украина сама не потянет.
Between the two presidents.
He said, I realize that without America and Europe, Ukraine itself will not be able to survive.
Between the two presidential candidates that are running between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who do you think would be best to resolve this issue?
I think either one who wins the election should increase American support for Ukraine. I think that'd be the wise strategic decision for them to make.
If you guys live in the United States, who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
Hey, girls.
Definitely not Donald Trump.
If you guys could vote in the U.S. election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
I think Kamala Harris, because
Another
Trump supports Russian and his friend is Putin.
He's not friends with Putin.
His friend is Putin.
Here's the deal, guys. Let me explain it really quick. He has a relationship with Putin. He has a relationship with Xi from China. He has a relationship with other world leaders. A relationship doesn't have to mean they're best friends. It's a relationship. There are all different forms of relationships.
He has a relationship with Zelensky, but
he has a relationship with Putin as to where Putin understands that Trump is a fierce and strong adversary, an enemy, one that that Putin should not cross. Therefore, that is a strong strategic relationship between not just the United States and Russia, but between the United States in support of Ukraine and other countries that surround Russia that Russia might deem to do harm to. The fact that he has a good relationship with the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, is a good thing, because Putin knows that he should not cross Trump, which is why this war did not break out when Trump was president for 4 years. It's called respect. It's not a relationship of buddies playing poker every Friday night or hanging out at the bar every Saturday night. This is a relationship built on other terms, and it's respect and fear. And the fact that Russia or Putin won't cross Trump because he knows the consequences. That is a relationship that benefits the entire world. Let's go.
It will be difficult for Ukraine if Trump will win.
A lot of countries, such as the United States, have given over $170 billion, and other countries have given over millions and billions of dollars. Why do you think Ukraine needs so much money to keep fighting this war?
War is a really expensive thing. In fact, for example, weapons or cars or tanks or something like this. This is really, really just expensive.
And with the U.S. elections coming up in these upcoming months, does it worry you guys if Donald Trump wins?
Yeah, for sure, because he has made controversial statements before. So we are pretty worried about that. And he has Russian ties. It's obvious. We know about them. So yeah, we really hope for Kamala Harris to win.
So if you guys could vote, who would you vote for?
I have not read everything about them, but definitely not Donald Trump. That's all.
So Donald Trump does fear the people of Ukraine if he does.
So 2 for Harris.
Well, it worries us because we are not sure what is going to happen. And again, as my friend said, because of the messages, because of the ideas that he is projecting, we have fears.
Donald Trump has said that he'll be able to stop the war.
I want to say a thing real quick. I guarantee you what Zelensky, their president of Ukraine, shows them on their television. It's definitely probably state-run media. I doubt that they have a fair media there, and it's probably all clips from CNN and MSNBC, ABC, and news to that effect, all saying Trump is bad, Harris good, Trump is boogeyman, Trump loves Putin, Joe Biden is the man, he's giving us this money, this, that, and the other. They're getting their information from a very biased source, is all I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna say, you want to know what the score is so far?
Yeah, tell me.
It's 15-4.
Let's go. 15 Harris, 4 Trump.
And then most likely, if Kamala Harris wins, they'll continue giving aid to Ukraine as they are currently doing with the current administration between Biden.
The question is on
I mean, on whose terms will end the war? So, I mean, all of Ukrainian people, we would like to end war on our terms. And
Well, here's the thing, lady.
fear that it won't be
You're a
possible
weak
if Donald
country
Trump has to win.
Would you guys
that's
rather live in
being
Russian
invaded
occupation
by
or
a
continue the
strong
war
country.
until hopefully Ukraine
You
wins? Or
lose.
would you-
Yeah, it's hard to win on your own terms. If you were to fight this war on your own, Russia would already
wipe
have
you out.
He would already have the stronghold over your entire country, and y'all would be part of the USSR again. It's no question about it. It would have happened a long time ago. So to win on your terms, you may have to have a little compromise in there. Now we want the Ukrainian people to have their own country. We do not want this war to exist. We do not want anybody in Ukraine to die. We want the death to stop. We want the war to stop. But how far do you want to go? How far do you want to push the American people, our tax dollars, NATO, the chance of a World War III to break out in your defense? How much are we supposed to give you in order to make it end on your terms?
Nuclear Armageddon?
Yep.
Do you think war is just a way for upper elites to continue to make even more and more money profiting off of war?
Yeah.
Well. Surely the military-industrial complex does profit a lot from that. And, well, wars can only be waged by elites because they are really in control. The people, well, the illusion of control by the people is that, the illusion. We could change that as a people, however, that is very unlikely. The elites do profit from the war, but in this case, the war was waged by a crazy, warmongering dictator who just strives for imperial conquest, basically.
Actually, I want to stop him right
he
there.
seeks no.
If he thinks Putin was that bad, Putin would already have their country. I feel like Putin, I mean, if it wasn't for aid of everybody else coming to their rescue, Putin would already have this war over with and Ukraine would be part of Russia right now. I think Putin has been very lenient on them, in my honest opinion.
Maybe.
I mean, if he was that much of a dictator, I feel like he would have already leveled the place and made it into a desert.
I mean, if he really wanted to take it back, there are some beautiful, beautiful buildings and architecture, though, that I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to level out. Wasn't Ukraine part of the USSR back in the day, which was Russia today? And
yeah,
there's sites there that he doesn't want to demolish and stuff. I don't know. It is a tricky war. Let's see what the rest have to say.
Profit. He seeks only the annihilation of the Ukrainian people and, well, its subsequent consumption by basically Russia as a whole.
What's your message to Putin?
You know that it's pointless. Your empire has crumbled already. You're making it only worse for both yourself and your people. Just why? You didn't reach your strategic
he seems very
goals.
confident,
NATO has enlarged. Ukraine is ever more militarized. Just why? Just stop. It's pointless.
If you enjoyed this video here in Ukraine, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And I promise you the next video in Ukraine will be even more insightful.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Again, this guy is Nick Shirley. I've seen him. He goes out into the streets, interviews people. He's got some good footage. The takeaway, if there is one, there's a war regardless. The war's happening regardless. Russia has invaded Ukraine. America has sent over $175 billion with a B dollars to Ukraine to fight this war. People, in other countries have sent money as well, nowhere near what America has spent. We want the war to end as bad as anybody. We do not want Ukrainians in fear for their lives on a daily basis. We don't want Russia, poaching territories from other countries, but we also care about where our tax dollars go. We also know that there are homeless people, countless homeless people on the streets in the United States of America where that money could also be used towards. A lot of those people are veterans who served our country proudly and protected us in order to give us the freedoms that we have today, the way of life we have today. And I think we do not treat our vets the way we should. And I think a lot of that money could go to make our country a better place. I think if Trump gets in office, I really feel as if he will put an end to this war. I don't think he's trying to take sides. He's just trying to end the war. Thank you, sir. He's just trying to end this war and get it over quickly so that there's no more bloodshed and there's no problem with that. Again, this war did not start when President Trump was in office. There was no wars when President Trump was in office. There was wars with the president before him, Obama. There was wars with the president after him, Biden, both of which are Democrats. It takes a strong man forging strong relationships with leaders of other countries in order to protect the world from going to war. And it really irritates me. My last point, it really irritates me to see people talk crap about Donald Trump because he at one point said that they had a really good relationship. You deem that as a bad thing. Why is that a bad thing for them to have a strong relationship? Putin knows that Trump is a man of his word. Putin knows that Trump is a fierce adversary, and Putin is not going to cross him because of that. I respect that. I respect the relationship they have. Much better than being a weak-ass Joe Biden or Kamala Harris who's a pushover, and that's why they feel that they can invade Ukraine, because they know they can get away with it, and that's why we're in this position today. John, you got anything you want to say?
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
We need all the followers we can get.
Yes. Kamala Harris is trying to shut us down because we're a podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, Gavin Newsom.
Talking, trying to speak our mind and give our opinion. We want to keep it fair, guys. We don't want this podcast to be biased or one base. We don't want to just support what the Republicans say. I mean, we've got a lot of love for the Democrats, for the liberals, but we don't have so much love for the progressives that are out there pushing our way of life in our country down a path of no return, trying to manipulate our children and things to that nature. But we do support, the people on the center and on the left aisle of the bench. So if the Republicans start acting like fools, we're going to call them out just the same. Anyways, this is J-Tech Studios. Please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave us a comment below. And remember, we're one race, the human race. We all got to get along and live on this dust ball we call Earth together. So with that being said, we love you all, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.